that's new information that you just explained. I'm going to text him right now, and his wife Dina Powell, who used to be at the National Security Council. Let me get with them, see what they know, and I'll come right back with you. I won't hang up the call, but I want to find out what's going on. So you might want to take me off screen for that, because I'll go blank here in a moment. As for Joe Biden, President Biden has been informed apparently of the shooting, but we have yet to see any official statement or anything on social media so far. As for the security at these events, as Chuck was saying, yeah, I mean, I go to so many of these. It's pretty standard security. I mean, as you've seen, those long lines, the reason they're long lines are two reasons. One, Trump's popular, but two, they do a pretty thorough job of making sure that nothing nefarious is getting into these rallies. So it's pretty painstaking to go through the mags, as they like to say. Having said that, and Chuck can speak to this, I would think, obviously, that doesn't mean someone can't, somehow get something in there, in some sort of form or fashion, maybe something, I don't want to call it low grade, but something, a little bit smaller or something that can do damage. So I'll let Chuck speak to that. But having said that, the rallies obviously are very, very well protected, typically.
Yeah.
I've got some people texting me some sources. Let me look at that if you don't mind, and I'll come back
go ahead.
in a moment.
Go ahead. Let us know when you have something, and just hop right on in. And Chuck, I wanted to ask you more about that. This is CBN's Chuck Holton with us now, our war correspondent. You see Chuck live on this YouTube channel very frequently. And Chuck, David was talking about the security at these events. And I'm wondering, okay, if there is somewhat, you got to go through a line or whatever. I know sometimes these outdoor ones, maybe the entire perimeter is not secured. Maybe you can wander up. I guess I'm wondering is how do you think they were able to get a gun into this thing? If, I don't think we have the exact specifics yet on what the security was like, what the level was, but what would you say was most likely happened for them to get that gun in there?
I've been to a couple of these events, and they are very well attended, as you can imagine. The crowds have been absolutely massive. The security, as David said, is pretty tight, and you have to submit your name ahead of time. They have to do a background check and that sort of thing. And then you do go through like an airport scanner, metal detector on your way into the venue, typically. Now, I don't know exactly what the security was at this venue, but they encompass such a large area, and there's so many people that it is not impossible. It would not be impossible at all. And I've often thought that despite the security, if somebody was really determined to get a gun in there, they could likely do it. Now, there is, I'm just going to report this. Again, we don't have confirmation of this yet, but this is now starting to make the rounds on Twitter that the Butler Police Department in Pennsylvania is confirming the arrest of the Trump shooter, identified as, well, I'm not going to say his name. I don't think we should say names of these guys, but he's a known Antifa extremist. He uploaded a video on YouTube before the attack claiming justice was coming. So I'm out there looking now to see if I can find that video. Okay. But that's making the rounds of Twitter right now. Just to again, has not been corroborated. I'm sure we'll find out more as time goes on. Yeah. But like I say, these rallies are very, very well attended, and with tens of thousands of people, you can imagine what a nightmare of security that has to be for these Secret Service agents. And I just have to say, kudos to these guys in the Secret Service, because they immediately ran right up there and tackled Donald Trump, who's already on the ground, put their bodies between him and any potential threat, and did exactly what they should have done. And not only that, but from the sounds of things, they also responded with force to the shooter and put him down, according to what we heard on that video. So again, very, very chaotic scene. The Twitter space is absolutely exploding right now, with everything from conspiracy theories to, the people on the left saying that already that this was a false flag operation that was done by the, by the Republicans. So
Yeah.
it's going crazy. This is the difficulty that we have as journalists during an event like this in today's modern age. The first source of news for in many cases when you're not there at the event is Twitter, Telegram, and places like that where people can very quickly post information. But that also means that the information is difficult to verify. And so we have to take all these things with a grain of salt and be very, very careful about what we believe before we get that confirmation.
Yeah, and Washington or the AP is saying that the shooter's dead, and a rally attendee was killed at this Trump event in Pennsylvania, as we've been talking about in Butler County District Attorney. That's the information coming to AP from the Butler County District Attorney. And as we had heard those apparent shots on the clip that we played, you could hear the authorities saying shooter down. Liz Cheney is responding now.